The man's family says the 62-year-old stepped out to buy cigarettes and never made it home. Tonight, his nephew is speaking out. Leslie Moreno has all the details. She joins us live. Leslie.
Hey, Don, good evening. Yeah, we actually just learned in the last couple of hours that two 15-year-olds, a boy and a girl, have been charged in connection with that brutal attack. I also spoke with the family of the victim. They're very happy about the news, and they're also hoping that by speaking up and sharing their story, it'll spark some change as far as how the city of Chicago addresses teen violence.
It was supposed to be a simple errand. 62-year-old Larry Gilkey left his home last Tuesday to buy cigarettes. His family says he never came back.
He woke up and he didn't even know where he was.
Family later learned Gilkey was brutally attacked on a CTA bus in the 700 block of South Cicero just before 6 o'clock. His nephew, who wants to remain anonymous, says Gilkey was simply trying to help one of the teens who attacked him.
One of the kids that attacked him asked him for $2 so that he can ride the bus. When he pulled money out of his pocket to give that kid the $2, another kid hit him, and he was just out from there. So he went to help someone that needed the help, and it turned out a different way.
He's been in the hospital since with severe head injuries. Chicago.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the video. This is Justin Paul. I seen this story yesterday, and I said I'm gonna do a reaction to it, and just try to give my 1-2 as far as, how I look at it. As y'all heard, the guy, he's in his 60s. He just wanted to, run a simple errand to go get a pack of cigarettes and, come home. He's on the bus, and one of the teens asked him for $2 so he could ride the bus. This guy, being as kind-hearted as he is, instead of saying, no, I don't have it, he went in his pockets to get, the money for him, and then he was hit by another teen. And, it's sad in this day and age. You really can't be a good Samaritan. You can't show chivalry. You're not able to be kind-hearted and try to give to those who are asking of help. Because you never know, these type of situations can happen, and that's just sad to say. I never thought I would see a day to where you have teens beating up older people, trying to take their money and stuff like that. And this guy woke up in the hospital, didn't even know what had happened to him. I feel like we've reached a new low, especially within the black community. And a lot of people are going to say, whatever they're going to say, but none of it adds up to explaining why this situation happened. No one's going to speak to those situations. Whatever situation it is, no one ever speaks to it. People just kind of want to sweep shit under the rug. But at a certain point, man, you just get tired of sweeping stuff under the rug and not really facing it head on. It's just like, we're in a time where you see everybody else kind of sticking together, but it's just always black people who are willing to do the most egregious things to other black people. And I don't feel like, this community will ever come together. I still watch, a lot of people on YouTube, and, a lot of them speak to the community, but a lot of the people I really watch, man, they're not really speaking to the community as far as trying to stick together and stuff like that, because they realize, man, that's a losing battle. And I used to want to come on YouTube, I used to be all pro black and blackity black and stuff like that, man. I had to grow out of that. I just had to really realize how we are, and you can sit there and blame this and that, and I'm not sitting here pointing the blame on nobody, because at this point, it's been generations since a lot of that stuff happened. And if in these several generations since a lot of stuff that happened to us black people has happened, we still haven't gotten our shit together. We still are killing each other at a high rate. We still are willing to go out and beat each other up, and won't use that energy to bring our community together, build up the community, or lift up the next person, because you go to lift up the next person and they done knocked you across your head and trying to take everything that you have. So, it's sad to say, man, but like, they're making up all this black fatigue and all this and that, man. People are just really tired of this shit. It's just plain and simple as that. I really don't know how to explain it any more than that. Um, and the best thing you can do really is just try to get yourself together and just stay out the way, the best you can. Um, because there's really nowhere you can go without the threat of anything happening to you. That's just sad to say, but there's really nowhere you can go, because even in the nicest places, things can happen. But it's just like, you have to just do your best to put you and the people who that you love, that your family, in the best positions possible. I don't know any of these guys' backgrounds or what environment they grew up in, what they have to deal with on a daily basis. But the last thing they should be doing is looking for another person, let alone another black man, to go and beat up on, especially in the older age, to where it's multiple of y'all. Y'all knew that man wasn't gonna be able to defend himself against y'all. Um, and he would, he may have not even had the $2 to give, but he was trying to give it in hopes that, man, maybe that would change something in your heart, or maybe you would look at life a different way, because you see that, man, it is people out here who, even if I don't know, they're complete strangers, they care enough to go in their pocket and to try to help you, how to try to be charity. But again, that's the type of people that people take advantage of. People who just willing to give, have a big heart, you know, and it's just a shame, man. I hate for anyone to be arrested or anyone to go through jail and stuff like that. But when you do stuff like this, man, you really deserve it. Because at the end of the day, that man didn't deserve to be laid up in a hospital when he just went to he was just trying to go to the store to get a pack of cigarettes. So, just at the end of the day, man, you have to face your consequences and be held accountable for your actions. And, it takes you a while in jail to earn $2, unless you're doing something that you ain't supposed to be doing. So I don't know why these kids all look of age to where they could be out either getting them a job or, online trying to, hustle, like do some type of hustle, streaming, making YouTube videos, trying to make documentaries about their life, even if they're going through the struggle. People gravitate to that type of thing because they kind of grew up in that. And a lot of people grew up in an environment and got themselves out, but they'll be willing to give you support to watch some content that you create, showing the environments that you grew up in. And you will have a whole lot more than $2 after a while if you just continue to be consistent. So very, very egregious. And this happened in Chicago, which, again, I'm not surprised from, like Charlotte, Chicago, all these type of places, man. It's DC. It's kind of pretty much the same thing, and like, you got a generation of kids who are growing up, um, idolizing, those before them who may have done the same type of stuff. And it's just going to be bad for everybody that's older, because you really have to really just be, like I said, I hate the fact that we have to stereotype people and stuff like that. And hate is a strong word, but I really do hate the fact that you have to stereotype people. But you see young guys these days, man, you definitely have to keep an eye on them. You have to keep something on you to make sure that you protect yourself too. It may not be a gun, man. It may be mace, or it may be a stun gun, something like that. Something that you know you legally able to carry to protect yourself. But you definitely got to make sure that you're prepared for anything these days, man, because anything can happen. I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out. But this a damn shame. This is plain and simple. It's just a damn shame. But thank you for watching the video. If you like my content, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on my channel. And this is Justin Paul. Peace.